Hello everyone, welcome to Dart tutorial. In this video, you will learn about object in Dart. This is one of the most important feature of object-oriented programming. Let me share my screen and let's see a complete demo. Okay, I will move to this object section. Here you can see in object-oriented programming, an object is a self-contained unit of code and data. In one object, you can store many values. For example, first you have created a person class, then you can create object of that person class. Okay, if I say P is the object of person class, then you can store person name in that P, and you can store person skin color there, you can store person age there, and as many things as you like you can store in that object. Okay, an object is a self-contained unit of code and data. Objects are created from template called classes. Without class you can create object. Okay, and an object is made of properties and method. Okay, we already discussed about properties and method in our previous section, class section. An object is an instance of class. An object is also called instance of class. For example, a bicycle object might have attribute like color, size and current speed. Okay, it might have method like change gear, pedal faster and brake. Okay, now let's see how we can declare object in Dart. Here is the syntax. First of all, you need to write a class name and then you need to write object name. Always write object name in small case. Okay, first here you can see first word, you need to write first character, you need to write in small, and if it has two words, then you can write second word first character in capital letter. Okay, here is the syntax. You need to write class name. If the class is person, then you need to write person P is equal to person. Okay, this is the very easy formula. Okay, now let's do one example of object. Okay, just I will open my Visual Studio Code and let's write some code. First of all, I will create new file. I will say main.dart, and I will also create another class. Okay, I will create one class first and I will say camera.dart. Okay, here the class name is camera. Okay, and what are the properties of camera? Okay, I will say integer id, and I will say string camera name, and I will say integer megapixel. Okay, you can also add many items as you can. Okay, I will create, and I will also say price. Okay, double price. Okay, you need to write here question mark. Okay, now this is fine. Let's create one method, void. I'll say display, and it is responsible to display items. I will say id is $id, and print id is $id, name is $name, price is price, megapixel is MP, and price is price. Okay, you can also create another method. This is method. Okay, I'll create another method. This is one method which is display, and let's create another method. I'll say void is price high, price high. Okay, I'll say bull, not boil, boiled. We already talk about this one. Okay, if price is greater than, you need to write exclamation here. We'll discuss about this exclamation in our null safety section. If price is greater than 200 or 2000, I'll say return true. Okay, and else I'll say return false. Okay, now this is fine. Okay, our blueprint is ready, our class is ready. Now it's time to create object. Okay, now let's go to main and write main method here, and let's create object of camera first. Okay, we need to write camera c1 is equal to camera, and I will say c1 dot name is equal to Sony, and c1 dot id is equal to, I will say 1, and c1 dot price is equal to, I will say something like this. Okay, id, and then another c1 dot megapixel is equal to 50 megapixel. Okay, okay, now I will display that c1 dot display. Okay, this method is used to display. Let's display the dart main dot dart. Okay, here you can see id is 1, name is Sony, megapixel is 50, price is 554.0. Okay, now here you can see we have created object that is c1. Okay, in c1 here you have stored in c1 dot name is equal to Sony, and c1 dot id is equal to 1, c1 dot price is equal to 5545, and c1 dot mp is equal to 50. In this way you can create object, and you can store the properties of that class in that object. Okay, here you can see you can also create another object. You can also say camera c2 is equal to new camera, or you can just write camera here. Okay, c2 dot id is equal to, I'll say 2. Okay, c2 dot megapixel or name is equal to Canon, c2 dot megapixel is equal to, I will say 25, c2 dot price I will say 2200. Okay, and let's display c2 dot display. Okay, if I run this program, now here are two objects. Okay, it will print two items. This is one item and this is another item. Okay, in this way you can create multiple objects from a same class and display the result. You can also check for whether the price is high or not. I'll say if c2 dot is price high. Okay, is price high, and then if c1, we have checked the c1, and I'll say print price is high for dollar c1 dot name. Okay, and you can also check another one, just if c2 price is high for c2 dot name. Okay, if I run this program, here you can see price is high for Sony, price is high for Canon got printed. In this way you can print the information, and this is the way to create object. And let's see our more example. You can also practice this example, and here are some key points. The main method is the entry point of the application. You always need it to see the result. You can also ignore new keyword. Okay, if you write new, then that will be okay. If you write camera, C2 is equal to new camera, this will be also okay. But if you avoid this one, then in that this will also work. This is the advantage of that. And here is one challenge for you. Create a class camera with properties name, color, megapixel. Create a method display which display the value of 3 properties. Create 2 objects of the camera and call the method display. This is very easy. You can try this on your computer or mobile phone and paste it on the comment section. And thank you so much for watching this video up to the very end. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.